Law number 4. Always say less than necessary. When you are trying to impress people with words, the more you say, the more common you appear, and the less in control. Even if you are saying something banal, it will seem original if you make it vague, open-ended, and sphinx-like. Powerful people impress and intimidate by saying less. The more you say, the more likely you are to say something foolish. So as you can see, I don't practice this law, but I should. Greene cites the story of Louis XIV, who had a court of ministers and nobles who would debate issues of state. When a man from each group would come to him and present his course of action, Louis XIV, a man of very few words, when asked about his opinion, would simply say, "I shall see." Sometime later, Louis XIV would make a decision on his own, never talking about it or even consulting them. When Louis XIV was young, he used to love hearing himself speak, but as he got older, his short statements like, "I shall see," were used to keep people off balance so that people never knew what he really thought. People wouldn't lie because they wouldn't say what he wanted to hear, because they didn't know what he wanted to hear because he was a man of few words. He would just let people talk on and on and on and later use that information against them. It sucks. People were just terrified, and that's how he would keep them under his power. Greene says that power is a game of appearances. When you say less than necessary, you look more powerful and greater than you are. Your silence makes people uncomfortable. He notes the popular American artist Andy Warhol who used to do this. Warhol, when asked questions, would answer in vague terms and people would attempt to interpret his words, effectively making Warhol look deep. Greene adds that your short answers and silence makes people nervous and has them feeling the dead air, revealing valuable things about themselves and weaknesses which you can use against them later on. Dang. The attention they give to your very few words makes you more powerful. All of this reminds me of a quote I saw online. There are 2 rules for success. Number 1, never tell everything you know. A guy I used to know back in the days used to always say, just answer the question, not more, and you won't bore. But Greene says to even say less, because, and you'll come to see in his book, being mysterious and enigmatic creates this sense of being in control and having power. Being an active listener helps with this law as well. When you just sit there and listen and just ask questions, you get more out of it than always sharing. Remember that the person asking questions is in control, so that's what you get, control, when you actively listen and ask questions. By default, you're in accordance with the law. You're talking less than necessary. And people love to hear themselves talk anyway, so let them indulge. You never know what gifts you can receive. And the problem with talking unnecessarily is that once you share something, you can't unshare it. How many times have you said something that you wish you would have kept to yourself? And when you talk less and listen more, when you actually do talk, people listen. Just the simple law of supply and demand. But by speaking a little, you can also raise suspicion, so this law must be employed wisely. Well, that's all I have for law number 4. Always say less than necessary. And when you do, according to Greene, you're able to attain some power. Take care and be awesome. Peace.